Okay, class, go ahead and get started on your bell work. Take a seat, Sarah. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you, Mr. Gertler?
I'm good, thanks. So you'll see that our bell work's posted on the projector right there. If you could go ahead and answer the questions and be ready for me to scan your Plicker cards, that'd be great. I'm going to go ahead and take attendance. Okay, guys. So why don't you get your Plicker cards ready here in a second. Make sure you have your answers squared away, and we'll get started. Is everybody ready? Are you ready, Sarah?
I'm ready.
Okay, good. All right, let's go ahead and scan your answers. So the first question was, which of the following is a fossil fuel? Oh, I gotta get into my phone here, get the scanner ready. So which of the following is a fossil fuel? Is it A, gasoline, B, natural gas, C, coal, or A, all of the above? All right, let's scan the cards. Go ahead and hold your answers up. Okay. Got everyone's answers. All right, let's go ahead and display the answers in our graph here so everyone can see. Looks like everybody said D, gasoline. Okay. All right, we'll go over the answers in a second. All right, second question. Hold on, Sarah. We'll do questions after we've answered all of the bell work questions. Okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. Second question. What is one of the greenhouse gases that is? Oh, I wrote the question on there.
That's one way that greenhouse gases increase.
Oh, okay. I got it right. I was reading it wrong. Thank you, Sarah. What is one way that greenhouse gases increase in our atmosphere? Is probably what I should have said. So if you need to change your answer, that's okay. What is one way that greenhouse gases increase? Weathering, volcanism, carbon dioxide. Okay, let's talk about the answers to these questions. So, all right, question one was, which of the following is a fossil fuel? Sorry. A, gasoline, B, natural gas, C, coal, or D, all of the above. And you picked the answer, you guys picked the answer D. Or no, you guys picked the answer A.
No, I picked D.
D, which you had as gasoline.
You said it backwards.
It was gasoline.
That was my question.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so the answer really should be all of the above, okay? Because gasoline, natural gas, and coal are all fossil fuels. Can somebody explain to me what a fossil fuel is? All said it was B, carbon dioxide, which is absolutely right. So good. So I want to ask you guys, what do you think all of these questions have in common? What do you think they all have in common? What do you think, Sarah?
Global warming.
Global warming, that's very true. They absolutely do have in common global warming. There was one question in specific, the second question, which kind of pointed out something that I want to talk about today specifically. So it has to do with global warming, but the second question was what is one way that greenhouse gases increase? And that was A, weathering, B, volcanism, C, human activity. We said it was all of the above. What one of those have we not talked about yet? We've talked about weathering, right? We've talked about volcanism, so...
Human activity.
Human activity, right? So humans. So we haven't talked about yet how humans influence global warming. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, what we're going to do is we are going to talk about a book, okay? This book was written by a man named Al Gore. How many of you guys know who Al Gore is? Okay, a few of you know who he is. Sarah, can you tell me who Al Gore is? You seem to know who he is.
He is a Democratic politician. He was the vice president, and he ran for the presidency.
Yeah, he ran for presidency against Bush. But one of the things that he really made his life's goal was to bring awareness of our problem with global warming and the fact that humans were a real big problem in contributing to it. And he wrote a book called An Inconvenient Truth about the problems that humans have caused for global warming and warming our planet. So we're going to read some of that today. We're not going to read the whole thing. And you guys are going to learn more about how humans affect global warming. But let's talk about our objectives for the day. So we've already covered a little bit about the mechanisms, right? So we want to recall the various feedback mechanisms that control Earth's temperature. So we've talked a little bit about that, but you're going to need to do it again in talking about how humans affect global warming. We're going to apply those feedback mechanisms to human activity, and then we're going to evaluate how they influence, how both of those elements influence global temperature and climate. And then last, we're going to make inferences about how society can make future changes to correct the negative effects humans have made upon the global temperature and climate. So you'll see here I have some vocabulary words. You should notice that they're all words that we've talked about in the last week, okay? So these should all be very familiar to you. Now I've put these on the board because it's going to be involved in your reading guide today, which I'm going to talk about in 1 second. So you have groups that are listed on the board here, so these are the groups that you're going to divide up into. You're going to assign somebody to get the materials needed for your group, okay? And the materials you're going to need are going to be a copy of the book, and you're going to need the reading guide, okay? The reading guide is going to direct you through the reading that you have to do in the book, in your group. It's also got those vocabulary words listed at the top. And you'll be able to follow through with the reading guide, but one thing you need to know is that at the top, and it tells you this very clearly, you need to use all those vocabulary words at least once in your reading guide, okay? You'll be responding to the reading sections and writing responses to certain questions. And in those questions, you've got to use all of these vocabulary words at least once, okay? If you have more questions once you get the reading guides, you feel free to ask me. But for the first 30 minutes, once you divide up into your groups, we're going to do silent reading. So you'll be in your groups, but I don't want you talking, okay? I want you reading silently for 30 minutes. Once you've finished reading, you're more than welcome to get started on answering the questions by yourselves until the silent reading time is up. And then you guys will divide up into your groups. You guys will talk about your answers to the questions. You'll see if you guys are all on the same page or if you need to add something to your reading guide based on what your partner has said, okay? And then what we're going to do is after our group time discussion, we're going to divide up into, or we're going to get back together into a large group and have a discussion as a class. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, so go ahead and break up into your groups and we will start with the silent reading. Okay guys, go ahead and get back together with your groups and you can start talking with each other. How's your group doing, guys?
Okay, we can't find the answer to what were Revell's findings.
What were Revell's findings? Well, what page does it say to go to for that?
38 to 40.
38 to 40. Have you asked your partners about this yet, Sarah?
Yeah, but...
And none of them found it either?
No.
Okay. Well, I can tell you it's in there, so let's take a closer look here.
Okay.
Are you having trouble understanding the text, or is it a matter of you just not being able to find it?
We just can't find it.
You just can't find it. Okay, so did you get the question, why did Revell start his... Did you find the answers?
Yes, I think so. Yep.
All right, let me take a look. Excellent work. Yeah, you guys got it. Okay, good. You just needed a little motivation, I guess. How about the rest of the questions? Did you get any of the ones later?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you got it. Okay, let's take a look. Good. I like your use of the vocabulary words. That's excellent. All right, guys, group time is up, so let's get in a big circle here. And okay, well, let's talk about what we learned. What were some of the big ideas that you guys learned from your reading and your discussion questions? Anybody? Sarah.
I learned that there have been a lot of verified scientific studies that show that human activity is causing global warming.
Yes, that's definitely a really good point. So Al Gore points out that there are a lot of scientists, especially that Revell guy, right, that you learned about. Yeah, he was one of the first. How about considering this. So the book was published in 2007. So that's, that's quite a while ago for science books, right? So when it comes to the facts that you've read in this book, do you think that anything's changed since they've published this book as far as the science and global warming? Do you know about anything that's changed, or do you think anything's changed? And do you think it's gotten worse or better? Have we done anything to change it? What are your thoughts on that? Anybody? Yeah. Sarah?
I think it's getting better because more people are aware that global warming is a problem, and more countries and people are using more alternative energy sources now.
Okay.
And starting to take it more seriously, but I think we have a long way to go still.
Okay. Okay. How about somebody else? Okay. So you think that it's a really big problem still? Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think Sarah's got a good point that there has been a lot of change in people's attitudes. Some people have. But good job, guys. I think you guys have done a good job with this. If you didn't finish the questions, I'm going to give you the opportunity to finish them for homework tonight. But I want to get the classroom back together, and we're going to do a couple more Plicker questions before we're done for the day. Okay? All right, now that we've got the class back together, let's do some more Plicker questions. Do you have your Plicker cards ready? All right. So here's the first question for you guys. There is true or false. There is substantial scientific evidence that humans are significantly contributing to global warming. Is that true or false? So what do you guys think? Is there or is there not scientific evidence, substantial scientific evidence? You guys ready? Let's see. So it looks like most of the class said A, and that is correct. A, the answer is true. So there is substantial scientific evidence that humans are significantly contributing to global warming. Good job. So you guys have seemed to take away one of the key points. I'm glad to see that. Okay. All right. Next question on the projector. One of the most catastrophic future effects of global warming is likely to be flooding, storms. All right, so now that we've had an introduction to how humans impact global temperatures and climate, we can dive a little bit deeper next time into how those impacts affect us on an everyday life some more, and how we can be better stewards of our planet, which we'll talk a little bit more about next class. And we'll get more into the alternative energy types as well. And we'll talk a little bit more about how they work and what we can do every day to make a difference, and what we can do in the future, maybe as scientists, if we become scientists someday, to help make the world a better place. So let's just recap real quick on our objectives. So you were successful today if you're able to recall the various feedback mechanisms that control Earth's temperature. Okay? If you're now able to apply those feedback mechanisms to human activity and evaluate their influence on global temperature and climate, and then also if you're able to make inferences about how society can make future changes to correct the negative effects humans have made upon the global temperature and climate. I want you to take one type of energy, future energy source, okay? And I want you to tell me a little bit about how that energy source can have a positive effect on helping global warming. What I need you to do is, when you talk about it in your paragraph, okay, so I want this to be about a paragraph, okay, so one paragraph. So one paragraph, again, one paragraph on a specific future type of technology, energy source, okay, that could be hydroelectric, you guys know that's a vocabulary word of yours. It could be solar power, nuclear power, okay. There's a few others out there, so you're welcome to pick one of those. So pick one of those, write a paragraph about how that specific energy source can help combat global warming, okay?